guys, Mary Gail asked for an oil-free cornbread recipe, and I'm always eager to supply. So I'm just going to share you the recipe that I created and that I make for my family, and they seem to like it, and so hopefully you will too. And what I'm starting with is a white self-rising cornmeal. Now, you don't have to use self-rising. You can add a teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt if you want, or leave the salt out if you want to just use cornmeal that isn't self-rising. You can use white cornmeal or yellow, doesn't matter. And to be honest, this was in my cupboard from long before I was ever plant-based and before I realized that I needed to be low sodium. Okay, so this is what's left in the bag, and just so happens I had just enough. And I'm going to give you an option. You can use 2 cups of the cornmeal, or you can use 1 cup flour and 1 cup cornmeal. That's totally up to you. And I'm just giving you that option because I know some people like to mix it. My granny used only cornmeal, and so I use only cornmeal. So 2 cups of your cornmeal. If it's self-rising, you don't need any other leavening. If it's not, that's 1 tablespoon baking powder and a pinch of salt, or half a teaspoon of salt if you wish. Okay? Now I'm going to add half a cup of applesauce. And if you've watched me bake before, I get these little individual serving cups because that's exactly half a cup. And so I adjust my recipes to half a cup of applesauce instead of oil, of course, because we're no oil. And then I can just use that little cup, and it's measured for me, and I don't have to worry about that. I just take that little foil off and take that out of there. Okay. Now we are going to need, of course I need a towel for my fingers, because you know I'm messy. We're going to use 1 cup of our favorite plant milk, and that's up to you whether you want to use almond or soy or hemp or whatever. Our family uses soy because that's what we like best. And I've tried all the others, and my husband is a Brit and he has to have milk in his tea, and he won't have anything but the soy milk once I got him used to it. Okay? Now we're going to use 1 flax egg in this, and a flaxseed egg is just 2 tablespoons of ground flax and 4 tablespoons of water. Now don't forget, you're keeping your ground flax in the refrigerator or freezer. Don't leave that sitting in your cupboard. That will go rancid. Okay, and that's my flax egg. See how I've made that up ahead of time and let that kind of soak in there a bit. Okay, then I'm going to use 2 tablespoons, and I'm using apple cider vinegar. You can use white vinegar if you like, or you can leave this out. It's completely optional. I like it, so that's what we use. And then now my granny made sweet cornbread. If you don't want sweet cornbread, then you don't have to put this, but I'm using some maple syrup. Now, my granny was from Texas, so I grew up on cornbread and sweet milk. So we had cornbread quite a bit, and whatever leftover cornbread there was for our, I guess, evening snack, my husband calls it supper, we would always come in late at night and take that leftover cornbread, put it in a glass and pour milk over it and eat it. And those of you who have no southern background probably won't understand that. That'll seem foreign to you, but I guess it's a southern thing. We just loved it. And I still do it now with my leftover cornbread. Now, Other than the little bit of salt that's already in that self-rising mix, I'm not adding any salt because I try not to whenever I can get away with it. I have salt very, very rarely, and I just put it on the table for my family. And so they won't notice when it's in things and when it isn't. That's the way I see it. Now you can jazz this up if you want and put some cinnamon in it or pumpkin pie spice or whatever if you just want to have something a little different for perhaps a dessert or a breakfast cornbread. But this is just going to be regular because I'm going to make some beans again. Southern backgrounds, cornbread and beans, that's the way we did it. And I'm just mixing that up. You can see what that looks like. And that's it, guys. This is the simplest recipe. So your flax took the place of the egg, and applesauce took the place of the oil. And it works out just fine. Now I'm doing this in a non-stick silicone pan because I don't want to have to grease any pans. And I just put this in, and then I bake this at 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. And of course you're going to stick your toothpick in or your knife, and you're going to make sure it comes out clean. And pause the video and write down as you see fit so that you get all those ingredients and instructions. Because as you know, I'm writing a cookbook, so I don't write it out for you. You can wait for the book or you can write it down. So I'll just attach a picture at the end to show you what it looks like when it's all done. You all have a good day. And Mary Gail, I hope this satisfies your needs. Have a good day, and be sure and like and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions. Bye-bye.